Good morning, Steve Freed in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Hope we had a safe and nice weekend. The markets, I think, are focusing first on the inflation concerns, with the stocks continuing to trade lower from Friday's steep losses. The dollar is higher and most commodities are lower. Over in the grains, wheat and corn's trying to have some small gains while soybeans are down. Corn and wheat, I think, is gaining on the fact that the war continues in Ukraine. It doesn't seem like there's a corridor for Ukraine food exports. Plus, we feel that lower South American corn will increase U.S. corn exports, and that, at least for soft wheat, U.S. is becoming a little bit more competitive. The problem with wheat is that there is less supply than demand, and it suggests that maybe post-harvest we should get a pretty big bounce in the wheat market. I think beans are down for a couple of reasons. Number one is that concern about inflation. People used to buy beans because of inflation before we had all these different financial instruments, and also the fact that China increased some rhetoric about Taiwan, offering some warning to the U.S. If it's not enough that Russia is attacking Ukraine, and talk about Putin maybe wanting to attack other foreign Soviet satellite countries that are now in the EU, now you have China warning the U.S. about Taiwan. The weather-wise, again, the 6 to 10 day and the 8 to 14 day maps are warm. They are, after a rain today across the northern Midwest, they are dry. The problem is that this ridge doesn't really stay into place next weekend, which if it moves far enough west, that it could bring some showers, especially across the northern plains and northern Midwest. So your driest areas will be probably from Kansas across Missouri into central Illinois, southern Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Globally, you still have a subpar start to the monsoon. It's hot and dry in Spain. Black Sea is warm and dry. South America, Brazil, and Argentina are also dry. So I think the markets are trying to find some value in very light volume in front of first notice day on the July contracts. Cash here in the United States is very strong for beans and corn. For the bean market, crush has kind of slowed a little bit on some maintenance downtime, some lower margins, and also just hard to buy beans to crush. And so I think that the soybean market eventually will turn higher once we start exporting more beans out of the U.S. The corn market also has got strong support. We need a record yielding crop to satisfy demand, and in the fall we'll be shipping a record amount of corn exports, and the wheat matrix globally is just a mess with not enough supply versus demand. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day, and remember, always treat people like yourself would like to be treated.